everybody, and welcome. I'm super excited to be able to share some time with you again today. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I'm so grateful that we have this platform that we can connect. I'm trying today's video with some headsets just to hopefully improve the sound quality and to eliminate some environmental noise that seems to surface in the video recordings from time to time. And as you can see, my golden retriever is laying there in the background, and so every once in a while she may make a noise or bark or something, so I'm trying to eliminate any distractions. Anyway, the challenges of videoing from home, right? But anyway, so grateful that we have this platform. So I hope everyone is well, and thank you for joining. Today I want to talk a little bit about things that we can control. And I think I want to, this came to my mind because in the situation that we're all experiencing right now, so much of what's going on in our worlds seems so out of control. And technically a lot of it is, right? Our days are not the same as they were before. We are in a controlled environment as to who we can socialize with and how many people, and being aware of how we spend our time with our family, friends, loved ones, people we care about, people we would normally see maybe every single day, our neighbors, things like that. How we grocery shop, how we go about our day outside of our homes now is very, very different, and we've lost a lot of that control. So sometimes that can seem, cause a lot of angst, irritability, frustration, sadness. There's a lot of grief that comes along with this, change in our lifestyle. So it produces anxiety, So I just wanted to bring our focus and our awareness to things that we can control, because there are still some things in our lives that we have control over. And so I think it helps to bring some clarity and some focus around that. So I have about 5 things here that I want to share with you. So let's just go down the list and think about things that we can control. Well, one of the things that we can control is how we are nourishing our bodies. Okay, so it's very, very important right now to make sure that we are feeding and fueling our bodies with good nutrients, making sure we're getting a lot of vitamin C, a lot of fruits and vegetables in our diet to boost our immune system. And sometimes, that may not be what you really want, because if you're like me and you're a stress eater, I tend to raid the pantry for the not so healthy snacks and the things that bring me comfort and that maybe temporarily I feel are going to make me feel better, but that's not necessarily the case. And so if we can stick to controlling, how we're nourishing our bodies, what we're putting into our bodies right now, that will not only make us feel better and physically, but also mentally and emotionally as well. That brings us more clarity, more ability to focus, so that's very, very important right now, to really, really be mindful and take control over the types of foods that you're fixing while you're at home, the way that you're nourishing your body, what you're feeding yourself. So that's number one. That's one thing that we can control. Number 2 is how much we are moving our bodies. Okay, so now that we are, kind of hunkered down in our houses, we're spending less time outside, we are socially isolating and social distancing, we tend to be more sedentary, I think, in situations like this. We probably are watching a lot more TV, we are spending more time inside, we kind of, and I think that we get in this place of the less we do, the less we want to do, when in reality, the more that we would do, the more we would want to do. Our body craves movement. So please listen to that. Listen to that. And if you've gotten, maybe if you were active before, just because you can't go out and maybe play pickleball or do the things that you were doing in group settings before, doesn't mean that you can't still be regimented about movement with your body every single day and multiple times a day. So maybe some of you are still doing your morning exercise routine through videos or, Googling things on YouTube or things like that for maybe, or just doing it on your own, some stretching, some exercise videos, some yoga, whatever it might be, even going out for a walk, which I want to talk about that a little bit more here and when we get to the next the next topic, but just making sure that you are even taking breaks throughout the day. Maybe set a timer on your phone and say, every hour or so, I'm going to commit to getting up and moving my body, whether it's just getting up and stretching a little bit, walking around your house, your apartment, walking outside, whatever it might be, or clicking on a video for 10 minutes and doing some stretching or something like that. But the point is, get your blood circulating, get your body moving. It's going to give you more energy, bring more clarity again. So physically, it's helping our bodies, but also mentally and emotionally as well. So that's number 2. Number 3, I cannot recommend enough. I think this is one of the most important things, is fresh air and sunshine. And I think that gets overlooked a lot with its level of importance, but we want to be able to get some vitamin D. We want to be outside. And so now is the time, to make sure that you are going out for fresh air. Make sure that you're going out for a walk. You don't have to be with a big group of people. Just go on a little walk. Maybe you say that I'm going to, commit to taking a walk for 10 minutes before every time I sit down to eat a meal or something like that, or just going outside to sit on your balcony or your porch and sit in the sun for 10 or 15 minutes at a time and just absorbing the vitamin D, opening your windows, making sure your blinds and your curtains are open so that sunlight is coming in. It's very, very important to make sure that you're getting fresh air and sunshine. And again, these things, play a part in our physical bodies, but also just equally as important in our, our mental and physical well-being as well. So make sure you are getting some fresh air and sunshine every single day if possible, as long as it's available to you. And the next thing that I want to talk about, this one, may be a little more challenging for people if you're not used to doing this, but I think developing and maintaining a routine is super, super important during times like this. So even if you weren't someone that was on much of a regimented routine beforehand, maybe now is a time to kind of try to implement that into your life. So I think if you can try to still go to bed and get up the same time every day, that as much as possible, that helps to, balance your circadian rhythm, keep you in balance with your sleep and waking hours, keeps you on a cycle, on a routine. And that's super, super important because I think the more that we get out of our routines, we may tend to sleep in a little longer, maybe just not do the things that we normally would do throughout our day, around the house even. It kind of puts us more in a sedentary way of life, and that can lead to, sluggishness, which leads to depression. So these things aren't good. So try to stay in as much of a routine as possible. Maybe kind of plan out your day. What do you want your morning to look like? How do you want your day to get started? And for those of you that maybe were, having some sort of a spiritual or a mindfulness practice that maybe you started in the morning or that you had before you went to bed at night, or whatever the case may be, and maybe that's gotten, shifted to the wayside a little bit during these times, that maybe other things have come into play and your mind is focused elsewhere. I think now more than ever is a time to get back to those practices and bring those to the forefront. So scheduling time throughout your day. How do you want your day to look? How do you want to start off your day? How do you want to end your day? And scheduling those things in between, like scheduling time for exercise, scheduling time for your spiritual practices, your mindfulness meditation, those kinds of things, scheduling your time to be outside. So just really developing a routine and keeping your body in sync is truly, truly important as well. And the last thing that I'll touch on right now is, I think this is very, very important right now, and I hope that all of you are really trying to stay connected. I think connection is such a huge thing right now for all of us. I mean, in general, but especially now when we are so much more isolated and spending a lot more time alone than what we're used to, maybe, is just really trying to be creative and think of ways to stay connected. So make sure that you're reaching out to your family and friends via phone conversations, Skype or FaceTime, so you can kind of see each other's faces and interact as much as possible. Maybe you have a friend group that, maybe you were doing a book club or something before, and you still want to continue that. So everybody's doing it on their own, and then you can can kind of set a time where everybody can get together and share conversations on the phone and talk about a book or a movie or something that you're doing, or just taking some time to share events that's going on in your life, or process how everybody's doing and how everybody's feeling. But staying connected is so important. Isolation can also lead to, depression and feeling alone. And so at this time, I really encourage you to reach out to people, whatever way that is available to you. And even this way, just hopping on and watching a video, just as I'm recording this to you, I feel a sense of connection because I'm reaching out to you all. Hopefully you will click on this video, you will watch it, there will be a sense of connection. So even maybe when you're sitting at home and you're feeling a little down, or you're feeling isolated or lonely or sad or something, just, click online and get into, a video such as this, or anything that's available to you that piques your interest, where you can have some connection and hear dialogue from someone, hear conversation. And then there's always ways where you can send your feedback, send your comments or your feedback, and stay connected. So I know that you all, especially those that have been in my classes and things in the past, you have a great sense of community, and connection is so important to you. So I encourage you to stay connected. So let's just do a quick little recap. During this time when it feels like so much of our life is out of control, think of the things that you can control. And these are just a few examples. So number one, how are you nourishing your body? Keep that at the top of your mind. How are you nourishing your body every day? So important. Number two, how much are you moving your body? And I know I have to constantly remind myself of that too. It's easy to get caught up in, trying to stay on top of what's going on and watch TV and, stay inside and get things done or whatever. And that's a good thing too, as far as like being, when I'm talking about the maintaining routine, is scheduling time for like decluttering or organizing or things like that in your house. I just thought about that as we were talking, because that's some things that I'm trying to do. But just how much are you moving your body? How much are you getting up and being active? Fresh air and sunshine. Please do not forget to go outside, open your windows, open your curtains, let the sun in, feel the breeze, the air on your body. Get outside and sit in the sun for a few minutes every day, as much as you can, and develop and maintain a routine. So, whatever that looks like for you, just try it. Try it for a couple of days and just see if you don't feel like that your body is getting back into a better rhythm and a better sync. And then connection, and this is one way for us to stay connected. And I am so grateful that you are here. I am so honored that I get to be able to have this platform to reach out to you. I miss you all so much, and I am so glad for this opportunity. So I hope that this was helpful in some small way. Maybe it just helps you to think about things that maybe you haven't thought about recently. It's a lot of common sense, but sometimes in these situations we try to, or we get taken away from the things that we kind of generally know, but we just need a gentle reminder to keep those things in perspective. So I hope that these tips have served you in some way. Please feel free to reach out or comment. Send me any suggestions of topics that you would like to cover or hear about or engage in. I am open to discussing, topics that are of interest. I hope all is well, and thank you so much for showing up today.